Hi, I'm Ellen Kay for IamRogue.com. If you're an actor and you've always wanted to be in a movie, this is your chance. Enter your reel and your headshots here. And every month we're choosing an actor just like yourself to come and have a walk-on role in a Hollywood movie. All you have to do is put it up there, IamRogue.com. Today we caught up with actor Tobey Maguire. So both of you sitting here, so accomplished in your own ways. What would you say to people starting out? Tobey, you as an actor, Ryan, you as, a producer. What was the key for you guys when you got started in this business?
Well, I was 13 or 14, so it was to do my homework. That was the first thing. I had to get my homework done first. I probably really sort of fell in love with it and felt like this is what I'm going to do when I was 16. And for me, as an actor, I realized just to study, to study from teachers, to watch movies and really try to understand it intellectually, and then be really committed to working hard. And I still learned that on this movie. I was like, oh wow, I have to raise my level up. I have to work harder than I've ever worked before in order to stretch, to grow, to reach, always reaching for something. But also I think just in terms of my approach to life, it's about being able to imagine things, not putting a limit on what I think I can accomplish or achieve.
And Ryan, you have so many movies going at the same time. You're creating, you're producing, you have to be thinking all the time. So what is your process to, I guess, like Tobey said, opening yourself up to all these different experiences?
Well, for me, I think it's really it's about almost exactly what Tobey said, which is the word no doesn't mean anything to me.
And you also don't sleep.
And I don't sleep.
He's working, and when everybody else goes to sleep, he's like...
That's pretty true,
yeah.
too. But, it's like, when I first started Relativity, I remember everybody was like, you're crazy, this is never going to work, it's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. And the more people said no, the more I was like, oh yeah, it's going to work. And so now, actually, I don't know if there's it's an anecdotal story, but it's true. If you take a grasshopper and you put it in a jar and put the top on, and it jumps and it hits the top of the jar, and then you take the top off, it never tries to jump out again. And so I kind of look at life with these artificial barriers that people just say, no, you can't do that. And anytime I hear that, the first thing I think is, well, why can't I? Of course I can. We got to figure out how to do it. So that's kind of what I've built my business on, which is always saying, if someone says you can't, it doesn't mean it's impossible. It means it's tough, and if you can actually make it happen that way, probably means there's a better way to do it.
Where does that come from? Do you think it was the way you both raised? Was it a parental thing? Was it something from your childhood? Or something learned, like you said, at 16, where you just fell in love with acting and then you just kind of really got serious about it?
I feel like we had different kinds of upbringings, but for me, it's something I learned over time. I mean, I feel like inherently I had a sense of that. I had a sense of like hope and excitement about what I could do and what I wanted to do in life. But it was also then, learned over time. I've been fortunate enough to work with, amazing people, not only just talented people, but great thinkers and, people have really interesting philosophies or approaches to life. I've lately, gotten to experience such a great amount of success. I'm also thinking about, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, but even more now, maybe being a little older and having kids, but that really the ends or the results aren't what's important. It's more about how I approach things and what I'm bringing to it and giving and sharing and love and, these kind of things. Of course, I love and am excited about the kind of getting to accomplish the kind of success like being in movies and making money and, people patting me on the back and that kind of stuff. But really it's about what am I bringing to it and giving to it? Why am I doing it? Those kind of things.
And so are there future plans for the two of you now that you're buddies? Are you going to do some more projects?
Yeah, we don't have anything specific, but we've been talking about lots of ideas and
Yeah, we'll find
Yeah.
something.
yeah.